From employee to entrepreneur. As a business development coach, oftentimes I am working with aspiring entrepreneurs and part-time entrepreneurs. And the biggest goal is always, how do I get from a full-time employee to a full-time entrepreneur? RJ, how do I make that transition? And of course, I work with people on how to specifically plan for that. That's my first caution, actually. Because we live in a world today where everybody believes that everything dealing with entrepreneurship is a one-size-fits-all, right? And I always tell people, your situation is very different from the next person's situation. It's not a copy and paste. And a lot of times we see a lot of these ads and a lot of these things about people who tell you, I did this, and all you have to do is do it just like me, and you're going to get the same results. Well, that sounds good in an ad, but at the end of the day, I always recommend, if you're trying to transition from an employee to an entrepreneur, work with someone that can really understand who you are. They can really understand your circumstances, your situation, so that you can properly plan and strategize and adapt to things that's going on with you specifically, right? But I want to talk about some of the mistakes, some of the things that we often neglect, and some of the things that we just don't give enough attention to when it comes to the foundation for that foundation for starting a business or going from a successful employee to a successful entrepreneur. What don't we pay attention to the most? And here's the thing, most of the time when people think about full-time entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship in general, they think about money, right? Because money and material wealth and all of these things, they have become synonymous with the word entrepreneurship. Most of the time, if you just have a conversation about entrepreneurship or you see somebody marketing about entrepreneurship online, it's always about what kind of house they have, what kind of cars they drive, what type of vacation homes that they have purchased. It's about all of this stuff. And if you're not careful, you will allow that to help you become a business owner. And when I say help you become a business owner, because those thoughts will cause you to get started in or participate in some type of business that's just not for you. Let me say that again. If you're only thinking about entrepreneurship in the sense of, I got to make a whole lot of money, and I'm not saying you can't make a lot of money being an entrepreneur, but if that is your only thought, then it'll cause you to start some type of business or get involved in some type of business that's really not for you. That's the reason people got all those products in their garage that are no longer selling. That's the reason you're still paying that monthly membership to some type of company and you're no longer really participating. I've done it too, so I understand. Because it sounds really good when you scroll down your social media timeline and every 2 to 3 ads say, hey, I have the magic system. And all you have to do is do this system just like me. And then they go on and start telling you about all of the things that are synonymous with money that they have. Most of the time, they don't even tell you what they're doing. And guess what? A lot of times people don't even care what they're doing, right? Because we have summed up entrepreneurship as laying on the beach and making a lot of money. But is that really what entrepreneurship is? And if that's the only thing you're thinking, most of the time when you get started in one of those type of businesses, you don't have the type of success that you really thought you would have. It's not necessarily because the business is a scam. It's just that a lot of those people, they know how to play on your desperation. And they don't really tell you until later what you're really doing. And then you find out that you don't care anything about the day-to-day act of what that business is doing. Yes, I'm going back to saying you have to be passionate and you need to love whatever business you are starting or getting involved in. But RJ, you don't understand, the business that I'm getting involved in, it's something that everybody needs. So what? People need dirt. People need all types of stuff that I don't care anything about. But just because they need it and it's a necessity, it does not mean it's the right business for me. You see, a lot of times we get started in a lot of these businesses or we start a business, and no matter what, any type of business will take effort in order to make it grow. You're going to have to put some work in. But when you get started in these businesses, if it doesn't generate the type of money for you that they said it would in that first 90 days, guess what? A lot of times, because you have no passion for it, because you could care less about whatever that business is doing day to day, you don't have enough motivation to keep pushing it. And you end up quitting. So a lot of times in the beginning, your foundation for starting or getting involved in a business, instead of thinking about how much money I can make, I want you to think about who can I serve? How can I help? And in what way can I add value? Who can I serve? How can I help? And in what way can I add value? Think about what it is about you. What is it about you as far as what you're credible in doing, what you like to do, what it is that you wouldn't mind doing every single day? Think about those things, and then think about what specific group of people that has a problem that touches my heart that I could actually add some value to. Because that's the real key to business. Entrepreneurship should be synonymous with who can I serve? Because if you learn to serve and add value to people, the money will add itself unto you. I'll say it again. If you learn to really serve and add value to people, the money will find you. The money will add itself unto you. But when you go out and you're chasing the money, then you're in this business one week. And then the next week you're in network marketing. Then the next week you're in affiliate marketing. And the next week you're starting a nonprofit. And the next week you got something else. And most of the time, all of those different businesses is your attempt to make a lot of money, and it's just not working. Find out who you can serve. Find out what you're passionate about. And a lot of people say, well, RJ, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I just know I want to get off of this job. Well, you got to find what you're passionate about. Ask yourself some very distinctive questions like, if you woke up tomorrow and you had $30 million in your account and money wasn't an issue, you didn't have to work for money ever again, what would you do with your life every single day? What would you want your legacy to be? Now, most people, when you ask them a question about $30 million being in their bank account, they automatically, I will buy this car, this house. I'm going to travel the world after that. After you've traveled the world twice and you bought every dream car you could possibly imagine, then what will you do? How will you add value every single day? Now, remember, you're not doing it for money. What would you do? Because whatever you would do then with the money not being an issue is what you should be doing right now. It shouldn't be any different. Whatever you would wake up every single day and do for free, you should be doing that as a business right now. And I promise you, the money will be added unto you. The other thing you can ask yourself is what problem or issue bothers you or touches your heart the most? I partially became a business development coach because the problem or issue that touched me the most was there were so many people claiming to be business development coaches, but they were really just selling some type of system where if you participate, you and them could make money. I didn't think that was real business development coaching. I thought a business development coach should help me take my idea and turn it into a profitable business, not tell me an idea that they have as some kind of system that they want me to plug into and make money from. So that bothered me. And I didn't want to be that type of coach. I wanted to be the coach that can help you take your uniqueness, take your credibility, take the things that you like and show you how to take those things and turn them into a profitable and sustainable business, not get you involved in something that I'm already doing so that we both can make money together. That bothered me. So that being something that bothered me, it touched me. I also knew that it was a problem that I could solve. Because the problem or issue in the world that touches you the most is typically the one that you were designed to help solve. So you got to be passionate about what it is that you start and get involved in. Don't make going from an employee to an entrepreneur just about money. Because at the end of the day, if it's just about money, and now after 90 days of being in that business or starting that business, you don't have the motivation to keep pushing the day-to-day act of it, that business really becomes a glorified job. Because if you work a job today and your only motivation is the money that they pay you to come there, why would you want to start a business that has that same motivation? The difference between the job and the business is that if you just show up at the job, they'll still pay you. In entrepreneurship, if you don't like the day-to-day act and you don't have enough motivation to push the day-to-day act, guess what? You can show up and still not get paid, right? So it becomes a little bit worse than a job when you don't have a love for the day-to-day act of what you're doing. I work with a lot of people and I try to get them over this hump. And I know when you're working a job, you want to make money so you can get out of there. But I'm telling you, you're going to spin your wheels if you choose a particular business type or you get involved with a particular business only to make money and you have no love